Do you ever stop to think about your thinking? Well, Adam Grant has written a book to prompt that. And in it, there's lots of great thoughts. It prompts us to wonder about whether we are thinking in hasty forms, whether we're rushing and just going through the motions, or whether we actually stop and think like a scientist. He contrasts that with thinking like a preacher, or thinking like a politician, or thinking like a prosecutor, where we're just trying to get our point across, or trying to convince ourselves. But instead, if we think like a scientist, then we'll actually hold loosely to ideas and be able to be okay and actually find a joy in being wrong, because we will then discover something new that we're right about. So rather than clinging to our previous ideas and thinking that's part of our identity, instead he suggests that we should hold it loosely. He talks about arrogance is so often about ignorance plus conviction. So just because someone has full of bravado and thinks they know everything isn't necessarily true. We should be willing to actually ask and say, can we debate this? He talks about motivational interviewing, where we're asking people the how, because sometimes if we just ask the why, they've got their answers that they'll explain. But sometimes explaining the how gets further and deeper to it. And we realize that having a nuance and an uncertainty and acknowledging our doubts is actually really important to a debate back and forth, and it won't go viral because people like just snappy answers online. He talks repeatedly about teaching and how active learning, getting people involved in the thinking, is actually more powerful than just giving a great TED talk or presentation, being the most engaging or the funniest teacher. If we're actually prompting people to think, that will do more. And he talks about teachers prompting students to do multiple drafts so they keep sort of thinking broader rather than just doing one thing and then editing what that is. It talks about that sometimes we think about grit as this important thing of determination, but sometimes too much grit is actually just stubbornness. And he talks about the example of NASA and how they had a kind of performance culture, and instead they wanted to actually move into a culture that allowed doubt and questioning of authority, and people being honest, to be able to speak up and ask questions, and how that changed things. And he also talked about suggesting people have a challenge network rather than just a support network. So, pretty good book, worth checking out.